everybody, this is Stephanie Pickard with Guitar Control, and today we're going to go over advanced chords for beginners. So let me know that you can see me. As always, I'm going to show you a couple song examples that bring in some pretty easy but special chords that are maybe a little different than your normal cowboy chords you might know. And I'm going to teach you how to play them. I'm going to answer questions, so feel free to ask me questions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, these are topics that you guys send in. So as always, when there's a beginner topic, I kind of mention if you're advanced, kind of use it as an example of a lesson you might give if you're into teaching or just another outlook on the guitar. So I think the songs will make it fun for everybody, so let's go ahead and try that. I guess a simple way to I'll play a little bit while you guys filter in, and you can tell me that you can see me, and we'll get started. So make sure you say hi on both Facebook and YouTube, and I'll make sure we're going, and we'll get started. So the examples that I chose were Free Fallin' by Tom Petty and Guns N' Roses. So the Guns N' Roses one is a lot simpler, but I think everybody kind of knows it. She's got a smile and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky. Well, now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place, and if I stay too long, probably break down and cry. Whoa, sweet child of mine. Whoa, sweet love of mine. All right, let's make sure you guys are filtering in. And so these chords are pretty simple. So this is a beginner lesson, so I'm just going to throw in a couple special chords. So we had D, just D major, looks like a peace sign. Oops, sorry. It's a peace sign, like this. And you put your pointer on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and your middle finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, and you fill that gap with your ring finger. So one of my first teachers always said it looked like Mickey Mouse, but he's kind of like saying, "What's up?" So he's got his head tilted. And it's very important that you strum from the right string. So what I'm doing is I'm actually muting the strings I don't want to hear so that I can strum from wherever. So I'm muting 6 and 5, but you want to strum from that open D note. So like that. She's got a smile and it seems to me. And then we go to a C add 9. So one really helpful thing too, when beginning or wherever you are, is finding like notes when you're changing. So actually let me make sure you guys are there and can see me. Hi, capo on the 4th. The next song, oh no, it's a capo on the 1st. I was gonna say it's capo on the 3rd, but it's not. Hi, how are you? I'm glad you're here. Thank you guys for checking these out and hanging out with me. Facebook, say hi if you are there. And so again, I'll do about 30 minutes of lesson, and then we'll do a Q&A. So today's a little earlier than normal, so hi, maybe we'll see some new faces. And if you missed this, remember it will be on our YouTube channel and our Facebook. So make sure you do subscribe to YouTube too. Hi, Chico Maki. I think that's it. Hi, how are you? Awesome. So hopefully you guys like this song. Who doesn't? You probably learned the intro, so maybe it'll be cool to take an acoustic approach. So they are actually tuned down a half step, but we're not going to be for today. Just gonna rock the acoustic and we'll play it in standard. So to that C add 9, what I was saying is when we go from that D major, just the normal open D major, there is a similar note. So we share the 3rd finger, the ring finger. It's gonna stay the same, but I'm gonna move every other finger. So I already have my pinky kind of hovering over the note it's going to grab. It's going to go down on the 1st string, 3rd fret, and then these fingers at the same time, my pointer and my middle, are going to change like this. So they kind of cross over from where they are. We started with our pointer on top and our middle on bottom. It changes. So I take my middle finger and I place it on the C note. So it goes to the 5th string, 3rd fret, and my pointer goes to the 4th string, 2nd fret. It's a really beautiful chord. It looks a lot like a G. So it's a G, but we just lower our middle and ring. Or sorry, our middle and pointer. So it goes, she's got a smile and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories. And then to G. So very easy transition because we literally just take these 2 fingers and our middle and pointer and move them up a string each. So now my middle goes to the G note on the 6th string, 3rd fret, and my pointer goes to the 5th string, 2nd fret. Everything was as fresh as a bright blue, back to D sky, and then it does something called a D sus 4. So if you're new to guitar, you've probably heard it. It's such a distinct sounding chord, but it is one I wanted to introduce today. So it's a very cool chord. It goes like this. I think you guys are cool. It's working. You can tell me if it doesn't for some reason, but awesome. So when we go to that D sus4, what we're doing is this is a suspended chord, and what that means is unlike a normal triad where we just have a root, a third, and a fifth, and if you're new to theory and stuff, those are degrees in the scale. So a scale goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 being an octave, which is just the same note higher up. So like Somewhere Over the Rainbow, that song, you can use that to kind of find it. That's an octave, and Star Wars is your fifth. So in that scale, if we said a root, a third, and a fifth, it would be a 1, a 3, and a 5 build a chord, which is a triad, a 3-note chord. When we get into more theory and you see chords that are called add 9s or things like that, and you're saying, this girl just told me that there's only 8 notes, an add 9 would be a second, but in the next octave. So that's really cool. That's kind of how that works. But back to this suspended chord. So what I did was I took my third, so in our D major, our third is the note that we are holding down. It's the F sharp that we are holding down on the 2nd fret, 1st string. And I to lift it up, you do a D sus2, which is also a really beautiful chord. But to do our D sus4, we place our pinky down. And the cool thing about this chord is you can actually leave that third down, your normal major third, and you can place your pinky down and kind of get this cool transition. So in this song, it's used more like stylistically, and you'll hear it in a lot of songs from this time period, where we get back to this chord, and we use it kind of just to get back. It just kind of adds a nice turnaround to me in this song. It feels like we're gonna go somewhere else. So I think that's a really cool little touch. It's a cool writing touch if you want to throw it into your own writing. All right, so let's give that a shot. Cool, I think everything's still good. So I'll go back to that song. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our Facebook, check out our website. We have free videos every day on our website, so at least 1 or 2 for myself and others, so make sure you check that out. All right. She's got a smile and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky. Then I bring it in. Now and then when I see her face, it takes me away to that special place. And if I stay too long, I'd probably break down and cry. So I just use that because we double up, you know, the progression starts and ends with the D chord. So progression is the order of your chords. So it goes D, C add 9, G, D. So D, C add 9, G, back to D. And because we start and end with it, I think adding that sus4 in is really nice because it kind of makes you feel like it's starting over instead of it just feeling like the same thing. So one more time. She's got a smile and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky. Now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place. And if I stay too long, I'll probably break down and cry. You can add it in. I kind of stopped, sorry. And then the chorus is just kind of the same, just an A major to a C major, and then our D bringing back in that sus. So our 2 kind of advanced chords for a beginner, remember this is for beginners, would be our D sus4 and our C add 9. So I'm going to check in on you guys really quick. All right. Cool. And yeah, thank you guys for always tuning in. It's cool to see a lot of the same faces a lot of times. So let's make sure we're all good. Oh, no problem. I'll show you how to do that. So, all right. So if you're having problems with chords like D minor and G7, those are good questions. I will show you how to play them. So let's check that out. So a G7 is kind of weird because it's kind of a big stretch, so it's really country sounding. Sorry, I messed it up the first time. And you're not going to probably use it too much, but it is a kind of cool sounding chord. It's very country to me. It sounds very country. So to play that chord, just go ahead and place your ring finger. So your ring finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret, which is the G note. Oh, I always get really confused. Is that how you can see? Cool. So right here. And then I take my middle finger and place it like a normal G, so like this. Except, you can also play a G. I double up these 2 notes. You can also play it like this, because that 2nd string open happens to also be in the chord. So it's kind of cool that it's optional, but I like the sound of just having that thicker kind of sounding G chord, and I think it's cooler for transitions. But anyways, if you know this G, it's very similar because we are moving this octave to a 7, so like this. So it looks kind of like a C, but we move everything like our pointer down and our middle and ring up. So again, our ring finger is on the 3rd fret, 6th string, middle finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and my pointer is on the 1st string, 1st fret, and everything else is open. I don't know, it sounds country to me. Maybe it's not too country sounding. All right, and then D minor, and if you, what is it called? Oh, what's that really funny movie with when the amps go to 11? That's what, the saddest key of all time. That's what they say or something. So to play D minor, take your pointer and place it on the 1st string, 1st fret. Take your middle finger and place it on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and your ring finger is going to go on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and you strum from the D. So a lot of these are just getting used to them. If you're having trouble with your reach at all, just lower that thumb. That would be my best advice. I think thumb placement so many times is actually what we need. Is what we need to kind of think about. So thumb placement a lot of times is something on the guitar feels unobtainable. That's usually why. So make sure you kind of check your thumb and have it, if you have it higher and it's not working, try lowering it and see what that does for you. So I hope that helped. I'm gonna check it on Facebook. Awesome. Hi, John. Hi, Chico. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Gary. All right. Let's go ahead and go back to that song. So let's try that out a little bit. Sorry. All right, here we go. She's got a smile and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories and everything as fresh as a bright blue sky. Sorry, I want to go fast to get to the chorus. Now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place, and if I stay too long, probably break down and cry. Now, whoa, sweet child of mine. Whoa, sweet love of mine. So again, just that D sus4. So I'm going A major. I take these 3 fingers, put them close together, and I place them all inside the 2nd fret. I go 4, 3, 2 on the string numbers, and then an open 5th string, because that's an A, all the way down. And again, if you don't want to be super accurate with your picking hand and you just kind of want to strum freely, go ahead and mute that 6th string. So when you mute, you've probably done this by accident. It's not the most beautiful sound, but it deadens the chords that when you strum it, you won't hear it. So whoa to C major. So A major to C major, where we just take our 3rd finger and place on the C note. So 5th string, 3rd fret. Our middle finger goes on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and our pointer on the 2nd string, 1st fret. And no 6th string, pin the 5th string down because we want our root to be the most dominant, and we just kind of strum all the way down. And I'm muting again that 6th string. So first 2 chords, I have that muted 6th string. Whoa, sweet child of mine. And then I kind of lift my hand up a little bit more because I'm going to actually mute both the 6th and 5th string and do that D chord again into our sus. All right, let's see how we're doing on time because I want to make sure we have time for the other song too. So cool. And I'm going to give you guys actually a discount code. So for hanging out with me today, I want to give you a discount to our Killer Guitar Control Secrets. So this is all about playing from the heart. I've talked about this before, but it's something that I think is really important. So it's not about sounding like somebody else. It's about getting the music inside of your head, out of your hands. And we're going to cover 3 major things. We're going to cover technique, fretboard knowledge, and hand-brain connection. So hand-brain connection is getting what's in your head out of your hands. So this is a very interesting lesson concept because this is all for like the player that doesn't want to sound like somebody else. This is more of the philosophy of how does somebody become like one of the greats? Like how did a Hendrix become Hendrix? How did Jimmy Page become Jimmy Page? Eric Clapton become Eric Clapton, Alexi Laiho become Alexi Laiho, Paul Gilbert, whoever. This is what do you do? Like how do you get what's in your head out of your hands? So it's very cool because this is not addressed all the time. So I'm gonna put this in for you guys. I'm gonna pin it to the top of Facebook. So check that out, and that's for hanging out with me today. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so I'm going to throw that into YouTube, and then I'm going to give you our second example. So thanks for tuning in and hanging out with me. All right. What is the most basic B chord to learn first? I feel like, I guess B7 isn't really basic, but I feel like everybody shows you just a power chord. So actually, in the next example, we'll do a pretty basic one, so that will be good. So good question, good timing. But just, I would say start with a power chord, so just a root and a fifth. So let's check that out. So, sorry, that was like really zoomed in. So pointer for just that power chord is on the second string, second fret, fifth string. Then our fifth, we're going to use our ring finger and place it on the fourth string, fourth fret, and then octave right under, so third string, fourth fret. And I'm just strumming those 3 strings. So that's the most basic chord. I do like this B though. This B7 I think is the most basic open one you'll get. I know it doesn't look too basic. Or there's a really cool one in that Adele song, Turning Tables. Close enough. I'd have to check that one out really quick. But that's a pretty cool song. What is it called? Turning Tables. I think Turning Tables is a pretty cool song, if you guys haven't heard it before. But that's kind of a cool one too. But this B7, you kind of take, it looks kind of like the top of a G, but it's on the B note. So middle finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, pointer on the 4th string, 1st fret, and then I skip it, or sorry, no, I don't skip a string yet. I put my ring finger on the 3rd string, sorry, 2nd fret, and I skip a string now, skip the 2nd string, and then I place my pinky on the 1st string. It's just a really cool sounding moody chord. So I like that one a lot. I think it's pretty cool. All right, let's see. And then I guess the other way you can kind of get away with that is another B minor, well, a B minor 7 would be like this. So I think that's a basic B chord, but not major if that's what you're looking for. But this is a pretty cool one from this Adele song, so I like this song a lot. If you haven't ever heard it, it's pretty cool. You should check it out. It's called Turning Tables. All right, so let's go to our Tom Petty example. So hopefully that answered your question. Beatles use it a lot. I'm sure if you want to learn any chords, learn all the Beatles songs. All right, looks like we are good. Okay, so let's go to our Tom Petty song before we run out of time. So this one, I'm going to use a capo. So I'm going to put a capo on my 1st fret, because I'm going to sing it a little higher. Well, I mean, this is how he does it, but that's why he's doing that. So we have E major, A sus2, A sus2, E major, B4, or sus4. So, or you can also do that power chord. You can do that too. So E major. She's a good girl. She loves her mama. She loves Jesus and America too. She's a good girl. She's crazy about Elvis. She loves horses, and her boyfriend too. So this one's pretty cool because it's E major. Is kind of weird where it hits. So it's if you slowed it down, I guess you go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, So I'm going E major, which looks a lot like A minor if you know that chord. So E major, I take my middle finger and place it on the 5th string, 2nd fret. Remember, relative to the capo. So the capo just cancels out anything behind your guitar. So now this is the 1st and 2nd, even though they really are the 2nd and 3rd. So middle finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, ring finger right under on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and pointer on the 3rd string, 1st fret. And strum everything because you can have that open E because it is an E chord. So that's pretty cool. All right, just checking in on you guys. Cool. Awesome. So hopefully you guys like Tom Petty. And remember, always feel free to leave topics too because they might wind up in a video or one of these live streams. So thank you for sending those in. And yep, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Tons of free videos, so check that out. All right. Let's go ahead and go back to that one. And grab your guitars if you can. So this should be a good one to learn. All right. So E major, and then our A sus2 is really easy. We just take these 2 fingers in this case and lower them. So you can also, just do it like that, but I did it like this. So all I'm doing is, like instead of an A major, I'm taking out that 3. So, sorry, E major, and then just lower. So take your pointer off of the guitar, and then lower your middle and ring finger each a string and strum that open A. She's a good girl. And then an A sus2 again. She loves her. Back to E, mama. So you can either do a power chord or this B4, where the B4 we would do, regular power chord, and then have these 2 open strings, so an open B and an open E, or you can close it off, whatever you want to do. That's our B4. So that's our progression actually for both the chorus and the verse. So she's a good girl. She loves her mama. She loves Jesus and America too. She's a good girl. She's crazy about Elvis. She loves horses and her boyfriend too. It's a long day living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through the yard. Now I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. Now I'm a free falling. Well, now I'm a free falling. So hopefully these are some kind of cool examples and showed you some new songs. I'm gonna see how we're doing on time. We'll do a Q&A in about 7 minutes. So in about 7 minutes, let's do that. But yes, these are just some different chords to kind of think about or try to incorporate in your playing. So other chords that are interesting or you will see a lot are an E minor 7. I'm sure you've seen before. Or I can actually just run you through some other chords. You can let me know if you like these playing examples or you like the other stuff. Thank you, Otto. That's awesome. I appreciate that. All right, let's see. Cool. So I'm just going to run you through some open chords so that you can kind of see why they are what they are and how they change. So if we did that E major, which we actually just learned and used in our song, to make it an E minor, we take that major third and take it to a minor third, right? So by just simply lifting up our fingers. So the guitar is different. On a piano, it's very black and white, literally, and you can see exactly root, third, fifth, or root, third, fifth when you place it down. The guitar is different. They're not always lined up just in order. So it won't always go root, third, fifth. It can go root, fifth, third, and be all staggered and crazy. So E major, E minor, E7 is when we take that octave. So see how I took the octave, the 8, and I move it a whole step down, which is now under the capo, to a 7. E minor 7, just get rid of it. Or E minor 7, often played like this. That B7 I had talked about. Super moody, just a normal A major. A7, we lift up that octave. And I always think 7s are really distinct. and susses, minor 7. They just are more jazzy. A major 7, like this. That's a really distinct chord too. They just sound different. D major, D7, D minor. Oops, sorry. We already did that one today. D minor 7. So really, really pretty. D major 7. Also very pretty. C7. Very country. C major 7. G and G7. There's also a cool way to do that D minor. You can kind of pull it that way. But those are just some examples of chords that are cool and fun to play. And actually, if you like that Adele song, it's using that B minor 7. So this is also a really, really cool one. Actually, I don't know this one off the top of my head, so I won't use that as an example, but it is a really, really pretty song, so check it out. But let's go over the ones we did again really quick. I'm sure we are almost out of time. Yes, we have 4 minutes, so if you have any questions, please ask me the questions. Remember, this was just trying to show some beginners, some advanced chords. Another really popular progression is to actually do all these chords that kind of line up. You'll hear a lot of songs like that, where they do an E minor 7 that has these 2 notes in common, so our 3rd finger and our pinky finger, we just kind of keep them planted the whole time, both in the 3rd fret, so just like a normal G, but now we're changing everything around it. So it would be G, C at 9 is also one of those, E minor 7, and then D sus 4. You'll see these together a lot in songs. And so those are also kind of cool writing tips. I know Green Day does that in, what's it, the big one. It's on the tip of my tongue. The like graduation song. They do that in that song. Good Riddance. So Good Riddance is also a good one to kind of do really quick. So I'll pull up the lyrics really quick so I remember them. But Good Riddance is probably a pretty good song to start on, I would say. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Oh, there's a lot of questions. Let's see. Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Very cool. Sevenths are cool. Yeah, bar chords can be easier. Let's see. Do you have an epiphone? What's your opinion? I don't have an epiphone. My opinion is always just whatever you like and feel comfortable playing. I always think that that's the best option because, I don't know, everybody's different. I have guitars that are similar to Gibson's, and I do like them a lot. I go back and forth. Sometimes I like a thicker neck, and sometimes I like the super thin necks, like on the Ibanez's. But it depends on what I'm playing, I guess, too. But I think my first guitar didn't have a super thin neck, so it is something I like now, but there's something cool about bending on, you know, more of like a Gibson style. What band am I in? I am not currently in a band. I have been in bands, but now I'm kind of working on a solo thing. So check in with me about that. So I'm doing some kind of solo shred music. So you can follow me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Shredany. So yeah, I'm just kind of doing stuff like that. This is it. This Martin, I just kind of picked it up. It's a 000X1. It's like a thinner one, so I just like them. I saw it in a guitar shop, and I loved it because it was thinner. Because I play so much electric that I just thought it was a lot easier. And I played it and just had to have it, so I got it. So I used to have a not so great acoustic, but I love this one. I do a lot of writing on acoustic too. I think everybody does though. How did I learn to play? I learned to play through... I had a lot of really good teachers. I was very lucky, but when I very first started, I was kind of just writing songs, like singer-songwriter stuff, and like poems really more so, and my dad told me that I needed to take guitar lessons, and I was horrified, and I was really nervous, and then I just completely fell in love with the guitar. So I took lessons, and then I went to Musicians Institute, and I also studied with Paul Gilbert and Bruce Boyer from Racer X and Chris Broderick from Megadeth, and I've just loved it ever since. So I try to learn from everything, though, and I always try to keep learning. I think that's a really, really important thing, to kind of have that mindset. I think when I was younger, I didn't always think like that. That's probably true. C, G, A minor, F is probably the most used progression in songs. Probably true. Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Don. All right, so before we run out of time, feel free to keep asking me questions. We are in Q&A time, so feel free to ask me questions. But before we run out of time, I do want to give you your discount code one more time. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I know it was a different time, so thanks for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/guitar control, and our website, guitarcontrol.com. And remember, this is our Killer Guitar Control Secrets. So all about, seriously, like getting the voice in your head, like the music in your head, out of your hands. So very cool. Like I was saying, I know you've probably seen a bajillion different things that are like how to play like so-and-so. And I don't know. I always think that's not that cool because you want to sound like yourself. For me, that was my biggest breakthrough on the guitar, is when I started really sounding like myself. So, and just kind of experimenting and having a more of an open mind the way I was playing. So I think that is a very cool thing to do. It'll cover technique, which is all this showy stuff, you know, like all the speed picking, hammer-ons, pull-offs, all the things that kind of color our licks and our phrases and, well, our melodies. And then, so, fretboard knowledge, which is everything on the fretboard, chords, scales, arpeggios, notes, and then hand-brain connection. So getting what's in your head, out of your hands. So there is your discount code. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll answer some more questions, and then, Seth, you are probably right. All right, and I'll see you guys Tuesdays. So I'm normally here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 Central typically. So, yeah. Is anybody at the NAMM show in Nashville? Nashville has the NAMM show right now, which is different. I'm used to the Los Angeles NAMM show. All right. But yes, so you guys are asking what band I'm in and stuff. I'm just doing my own thing right now. So I do some hired stuff. I just played on an album that just got released called Guns. And it's about, I don't know what it's about actually, because I only did a guest solo. Well, it's about everything about guns. So not anti or, it's not pro or negative. So it's just kind of to bring awareness. But I got to do a cool solo on that. So that was really fun. And other than that, I'm just writing. So I've done a little bit of writing for television, and then now I'm kind of trying to focus more on my own writing. Both shred and pop, I guess, but mostly shred. Oh, thank you. All right. That's awesome. You should teach your friend how to play guitar. Oh, thank you, Chico. I think the more that you play, the easier it gets. I think, and that's a really misleading thing too sometimes, is when you see somebody playing and it does look easy or easier. It was hard for everybody, so just remember that. You know, it wasn't. I put a lot of work into it, just like anybody, and still do or want to, and everything else. I am from the United States. I am from California. Like as from California as you can possibly be. My fiance and I moved to Nashville like 8 months ago, so it's different, but I like it. Of course. Thank you guys for, so someone said thank you for addressing chords. Of course. Thank you guys for turning in these topics. It's a lot of fun, and it's really cool to think of different ways to explain them to you guys. So remember, I know some of you go crazy when it's not an advanced topic. This is supposed to be for everybody, so this was a cool topic, and you can always learn something new. That's awesome. Yeah, it does get easier. I've been playing for like 12 years, so 1.5 I think is pretty good. That's like when you start to get into your groove, I think. As long as, you know, the quality of practice too. Yes, definitely. When you get it, it does get easier. And then you start to kind of nitpick different things. Like then you start to worry about your vibrato or things like that, but it's a different kind of challenge. So you kind of, like, if you guys were tuned in on Tuesday, we were talking about beginner guitar, and I explained that sometimes when you get advanced, it's really, you don't even realize how far you've come. You probably don't even actually from a year ago. So that's kind of cool too. And it's always kind of cool to recheck yourself and see that. All right, so thank you guys. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you have a couple more questions, I will answer them. If you don't, please check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/guitar control. Subscribe to it. There's a little bell under our name, and if you click that bell, it'll tell you when we have a new video. So you can see our new videos. We have them every day. So topics from anything, from shred stuff to, I just found that I can play lead now. That's awesome. We have topics from anything like leads, to chords, to theory, to modes, to anything. Songs, riffs that you might like, solos you might like, classic songs of all different genres. So make sure you check them out. For myself and others, I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday. So doing these live streams, usually at 7 Central. But yeah, check it out. Oh, awesome. I'm glad, John. Maybe it's because we did a different time that you caught it. I know, it is kind of weird. I think especially on YouTube, all the questions disappear. And so when people watch it on YouTube after, I just look like I made questions up. But I didn't. These are real. So, yes, the longer and longer you play, you will find that out, that it gets easier. I'll give you that code one more time. So check this out, our Killer Guitar Control Secrets, all about finding your own voice on the guitar. So this is not for someone that wants to sound like somebody else. This is really for the concept of finding how to be your best self, get like the music in your head, out of your hands. And we'll cover those 3 basic topics: technique, fretboard knowledge, and hand-brain connection. So make sure you check that out. I will be back next week. So I will see you guys Tuesday.